A Toastmaster since 2000, a charter member of our home club, AT&T Middletown Toastmasters in Middletown, who has held several high-profile leadership positions within Toastmasters. Radhi Spear is my guest this week. What a pleasure to be talking with Radhi Spear, who is an international president of Toastmasters International for year 2024 and 2025, and who have attained the Distinguished Toastmasters designation, which is the highest level of educational achievement in the organization. Spear is working ambassador for the organization. She works with the board to develop, support, and modify the policies and procedures that guide Toastmasters International in fulfilling its mission. Radhi Spear, welcome to Ink and Insights with Sumit Sharma. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Radhi, how does it feel to be leading an organization that has over 270,000 members that's spread over 150 countries with 14,000 plus clubs?
It is indeed an honor and a privilege for me to serve in this role. I have to say, if you look back, Dr. Smedley had a vision 100 years ago, and that vision has now evolved into this global organization that has impacted the lives of millions of people. So I feel this great honor and responsibility to make sure that we continue into the next 100 years and serve our members and share the benefits of Toastmasters with even more people.
Right, right. We wish you good luck for that.
Radhi IVF and Fertility Center,
where miracles come to life.
Can you share, about your journey? How did it all started? When did you started with Toastmasters, and how it has shaped your leadership path?
Yeah, so I came to the United States to get my master's in electrical engineering, and I had, being a foreign student, you go to any department to try and get some kind of assistantship, because legally you're not allowed to work outside the school. You have to work inside the college. So yes. I was working as a graduate coordinator of the Peer Counseling Center when my professor of electrical engineering said, "You're doing what?" And I said, "Yeah, it doesn't matter, Dr. Cohen. It pays for my fees." And he says, no, come do research for me. So I quit my job. I started doing research for him. Not even 2 months, he calls me into his office and he says, "Radhi, I'm sorry. I've lost my funding." Oh, what? I just had that, they were so happy with me. They were willing to keep me to do my PhD. And now you said you lost your funding. So he saw my face. He says, "Can you teach?" And I had never taught in my life. I'm like, sure. Right. So next thing you know, I'm teaching electromechanical energy conversion. Wow. To a group of 25 to 30 students. And so I taught this class. I'm standing in front of students. And, I thought, oh, I can handle this. I graduate. I get a job. Few years later, my parents come from India. My family is here. And one of my sisters says, "Let's celebrate Dad's birthday. The whole family is here." And I said, sure. And I started looking into all the logistics. And one sister in the middle says, "Oh, and after lunch, we should give a toast." And I'm like, yeah, sure. Not paying any attention. I'm worried about the menu, the list, the guest list, the logistics. So everything goes beautifully. Nice September day. The guests come. The food is good. My father is happy. We all have lunch. Time for the toast. My older sister speaks. Next sister comes to me. I'm holding the glass and I'm like, "To the best dad." It was awful. And I thought, I could stand and teach a class, and today I can't even say one sentence in front of family and friends. I mean, this is horrible. Luckily for me, my sister had been a Toastmaster in India. And those days, there were only 7 clubs between India and Sri Lanka. So she didn't even know about areas and districts, divisions, any of that. She just said, "You need Toastmasters." She knew it worked. And she's like, "You better join."
Right.
Not that I did right away, but a few years later when they started a club in my office, I joined and I've never looked back. And like most Toastmasters, I wish I joined sooner. And it is the best kept secret. And one of my goals is to make sure it's not a secret. We have been in existence 100 years. This program works. So I hope people will check it out and try it. Like you said, we're in 150 countries. If there is no club wherever you are, we can help you start a club.
Yeah, I understand that there are clubs here in Nepal as well. but since I'm not a part of it, but I have heard news about it, and I understand that there's a lot of clubs here also equally active here.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting, from someone who was hesitant to talk to, went on to become the international president of the same organization. So what are the key initiatives or goals, in your leadership you aim to achieve during your tenure as an international president?
Okay, so the way the program works is that when you're on the board of directors, it's like this huge, gigantic cruise ship that's going in a certain direction. So when you join the board, you see what we're working on, and we see what things we could focus on more. So absolutely, unfortunately for us, the pandemic was quite difficult for us because we were all about public speaking. That means speaking, in a room face to face. So when the pandemic hit, we had to adapt. And overnight, we had to start learning to speak online and then later on hybrid. So we have adapted to the changes, but we have to keep up with the reality. And, to me, the silver lining of COVID is that we have expanded our skills. Right now, we can meet in person, we can meet online, it can be hybrid. We would not have had this conversation, I think, if that COVID hadn't happened.
Absolutely.
And companies too realize that they can employ people from all over the world and get their expertise. And so it's in our benefit to know how to join a club, a meeting online, how to run a meeting online, how to do training, how to do webinars. So it's a huge advantage for us in Toastmasters that we are ahead of the game.
Right.
I like to tell this story, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
During COVID, my daughter had just graduated, and she had a job in a defense company. And being a defense company, they said, you are essential worker, you have to come to the office. Now, all of us, were worried, like, COVID, there's no vaccine, but she would keep going to the office and back. And then I said, this is kind of risky. So she actually changed jobs. So once she changed jobs, they said, you can work from home. And then she comes down and says, Mom, I have to get on a conference call and my room is so messy. What do I do? My first thought as a mother was, clean your room, right? But she's like, no, I have to get on the call. So I said, use a virtual background. She's like, you know about virtual backgrounds? I'm like, yeah. We learn so many skills in Toastmasters we don't realize. And it's for everyday life. We are not in Toastmasters to be Toastmasters. We are in Toastmasters to learn skills that we can use outside of Toastmasters.
Right. I mean, in fact, I was going to ask the same question related to what exactly Toastmasters teaches. So how does Toastmasters contribute to personal and professional development, especially in communication and leadership skills? Oh,
thank you for that question. So most people think Toastmasters is just public speaking. If that is the case, why do I need to join Toastmasters is a question you may ask. Right now, I can do LinkedIn Learning. I can do Coursera. I can watch YouTube videos. I can go to the local college and take a class. Why should I join Toastmasters, right? Well, let me tell you, Toastmasters is just not public speaking. True, we learn to speak and make sure we keep the audience's attention. We know how to use body language, gestures, vocal variety. But we also learn leadership skills. And this is all about experiential learning, meaning we teach you the skills and we give you the opportunity. You start small, like as a club officer, and you learn so many skills as a club officer. You want that club to be distinguished. This is a way of measuring how well the club does. And you learn critical thinking. You want to learn delegation, because if you're going to run a club contest, who's going to book the room, who's going to get the refreshments, who's going to advertise. You learn marketing skills, you learn budgeting skills, not just people, time, resources. You learn so many skills. And then the higher up you go, the more and more skills. So you've learned speaking skills, communication, you've learned leadership skills. You also learn soft skills. Nowadays, if you look in Forbes magazine, there's so many articles that companies are worried that young people don't have soft skills. We learn this automatically in Toastmasters. When we meet, we learn to chat, to network. So so we're learning soft skills. And the side effect of all of this is improved self-confidence. And I must say, if anybody joins Toastmasters and follows the program, within 6 months, you will see the difference in the person. It is tangible. You can see it. You will feel it. And so I would urge you all to try it. Check it out. It works. Like I said, 100 years in 150 countries, no matter where you're from, this program works. And the best part of it all, you have a community, because there's a group of people who are supporting you, who want you to succeed. And you are there to help them. They're there to help you. So one of my favorite quotes from the founder, Dr. Smedley, is, "Ours is the only organization I know dedicated to the individual. We work together to bring out the best in each of us and use these skills to help others." Now, how great is that? We are not worried about making money. We are not concerned about the stock market. We are not concerned about anything else. The whole emphasis of this organization is to help the individual do better. And that's why I love this organization. I have benefited from it, and I want to share the benefits with everyone else. Right.
Radhi, we should listen to you, and then we should, look forward in being a part of this, organization. What role does you think, mentorship play within Toastmasters, and how can it impact members' growth?
Excellent question. So our founder, Dr. Smedley, said there were two key aspects to being successful. One was mentoring, and the other one was getting feedback or evaluation. Now, in Toastmasters, everything we do, we get feedback, and based on the feedback, we try and improve and do better. But the other key aspect is mentoring. If you think about it, mentoring levels the playing field, right? So when you get a mentor, that person has already done it before. They know all the obstacles, they know all the impediments, the problems you might encounter, and they will help you. So if you think of a world-class athlete, they have a whole entourage, they have a physical therapist, they have a coach, they have all these people helping them succeed. Like even a musician has a voice coach, has all these people. If anything in life, it's hard for us to break in and get ahead. But in Toastmasters, it's built in. When you join a club, you can ask for a mentor. Someone will be there to help you, to explain everything, to show you how to do things. They'll give you their time. They will listen to you. They'll help you. So it is really something that's built into the program, and it really helps.
Right. I mean, in fact, that interaction helps one to grow and, learn more out of it as well. So it definitely helps. So, as the context is rapidly changing at the global stage, as an international president, what challenges do you foresee for your office in today's global landscape?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Being an international organization, everything affects us. Whether it's a hurricane in some part of the world, whether it's currency devaluation somewhere else, or there's a war going on, or anything like that affects us all, because we have members in every country dealing with whatever aspect they're dealing with. So I would like to take this opportunity to say that we have a fund called the Smedley Fund, where members and people donate money. And when people are in trouble and say, look, we just had an earthquake, we lost all our materials, our club is in trouble. And if they write to us and fill out an application form, we help them for 6 months to a year to get through that time. So while that fund is there to help people, I would also urge people to donate to that fund. And especially if you're in a corporate environment, like most companies encourage employees to donate to a good cause. Toastmasters is an amazing cause. And in my company, for example, AT&T, they actually match my donation. So there is a Smedley Fund to help you. And for those of us who are in a good place, let us donate to that fund to help others as well.
Right. And do you see any other, specific challenges, in terms of,
so
in today's context?
Yeah, so right now with the hybrid club format, people have gotten used to staying home. So now when you say, hey, the office has opened, come on back, some people are a little bit reluctant, like, it's so convenient, I just go to the table, my desk, start up my computer, I can join the meeting. So while that is true, the in-person experience, I believe, is the best, because we human beings like that contact, like that interaction with our fellow humans. So that would be ideal. But, reality is such that by being online, we can actually increase, anyone can become a Toastmaster now. Even a person who doesn't have a car or transportation, someone who has small children to take care of, elderly parents, someone who's on a night shift can join a club across the world and become a Toastmaster. So that is the silver lining. Anyone can be a Toastmaster. We learn the skills, but there are some difficulties. Some clubs do it better than others, a hybrid meeting, for example. Fortunately for me, I work in a telecommunications company. So the room is set up great with a huge screen, the audio visual, everything works perfect. For small community clubs, it may be a little more difficult. The internet may not be so good. The audio may not be. So those are issues that we are facing that we have to improve upon. Some parts of the world, the internet is not so good that they have to get to Pathways on their mobile phone. So we're working to make sure Pathways works well on the phone. So different parts of the world have different issues. And like I said, everything in Toastmasters, we improve with feedback. We're trying to keep ahead of what all people need and try and meet the goals. But it's not easy, but we are working on it. Right.
I mean, there's a lot of prediction in and around, as the, global landscape is rapidly changing. And as many experts, they would like to coin the term saying that we are indeed a global village, but, through the machines these days. I mean, it would have an implications in large organizations like yours as well. So is there any further coping mechanism that you are thinking of in terms of how to navigate through these challenges in future?
Well, some people ask us, what about AI, So it is true. AI may help you write your speech, but you still have to deliver your speech. And before AI, maybe your friend helped you write that speech. Today, the machine is helping you write that speech. Either way, it's up to you how you convey your message, how good eye contact you make, how well you speak, how well you hold the interest. So as things progress, we will be keeping abreast of what's going on. We will be checking on the changes that are happening. But right now, so far, I think we're okay. And I just want to add this story, Sumit, about online clubs. Like, some people have asked me, Radhi, are you telling me that I can stay home, speak to people on a computer, and I'm a good public speaker? Does that work? Like, I'm just looking at boxes on a screen and now I'm a public speaker? So let me give you an example. At my home club, this person joined before COVID.
Right.
And he had not given any speeches. He would come to the meeting. He's watching. He's a new member. He's a little shy. By the time he wants to give a speech, it was already April of 2020. So his entire journey was Pathways and online. And by the following year, here in New Jersey, they lifted the COVID restrictions, and his niece asked him to speak at her wedding, to officiate the wedding. Over 100 guests were there, and he spoke and he officiated the wedding. And he sent me an email to me and my club officers, and the subject line was, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And then he said how he got so many compliments, and he said his wife was shocked. Like, where did you learn to speak? Like, how come? And so to me, that was proof. I know it's one person, but this person, the entire journey was online, Pathways, talking to a computer, and he spoke in front of 100 people. This program works. Whether you do it online or in person, I assure you it works.
Right. Yeah, I've been talking with, many thought leaders from around the world. And it's such a fascinating thing, to be being connected with leaders like you. nearby New Jersey. I'm here from Kathmandu, and what a privilege it is, you know. So machine does contribute to positive thing as well. So
yes. You know, technology has brought the world closer together.
Exactly.
We are now experiencing and learning about people from around the world. So really, yes, it's true, making us a truly global organization in every sense of the word.
Right. Radhi, what are the benefits of being part of a global network like Toastmasters, both professionally and personally?
So I would say this gives you so many skills that you can use in your everyday life, and all the networking. So when we meet in my office complex has 5,000 people. But when the members come, they're all from different projects, different groups, and they suddenly they talk, they get ideas. So there's this scope for networking. I also attended a workshop at one of the Toastmasters conferences, and this professor, he was a professor in a university, and he said most of his students, and especially the foreign students, sometimes would not be called for interviews. So he asked them to make sure to put Toastmasters on their resume. And after that, he said they kept getting called because people know this is an organization that teaches you all these skills that are really helpful. And they started getting jobs after that. They started being called for interviews. And you can use this in your everyday life. As you know, in a meeting, we have prepared speeches, impromptu speaking, and then the evaluation. And you know, when we give evaluation, which is like what you would do in a company when you give feedback to your employee, right? Or if you're an employer, you're giving some. Here we learn to give the feedback in front of everybody, and it's positive and constructive. Whereas at work, it's private, behind closed doors, and even there, the manager is not sure exactly what to tell you. We learn to run meetings, right? We have an agenda. Everybody knows when it starts, when it ends. We know how to run meetings. We know so many life skills that are useful. So and my mind is going all over the place. Like, what else are you going to talk about? We're learning critical thinking. You know, how we want to be successful. How do we run this? How do we do publicity? How do we do, you know, public relations? So many things. And every club sometimes has a webmaster. You know, so there are all kinds of, like, my job is in front of computers. But by joining Toastmasters, I learned to run a conference. You know, when I was a regular Toastmaster going up the ranks, I learned to be, you know, how to get people to do educational workshops. I learned to speak with people, negotiate with the hotel, you know, for the contract, so many other skills. And there's so many opportunities. So it's wonderful. And
I'm sure,
you know, you can take it as slowly as you want, as quickly as you want, and as much as you want, right? Do you want to just stay in your club and improve is one thing. Do you want to go beyond the club as an area director, division director, a conference chair, or hospitality, or audiovisual equipment at the conference? You want to help with that? There's so many opportunities. You can do as little or as much as you want and learn. And there are people there to help you.
Yeah. I'm sure, I mean, it also gives you a sense of, you know, being a part of large family as well. I mean, bond, that being together.
You know, talking about large family, Sumit, I was asked to go to Oklahoma for the district conference. So all my friends were asking me, who do you know in Oklahoma? Like, you're going to I'm like, I don't know anybody in Oklahoma, but it doesn't matter because Toastmasters will pick me up. They're my extended family, you know? And it's so true.
True. You know, what are some of the most memorable moments or events in your journey as a Toastmasters leader?
I have to say, when I was club growth director and my job was to charter clubs, to me, that was the most exciting part of my journey, because anytime I'm anywhere starting a club, I feel I've given them a gift, because I think Toastmasters is a win-win. Like for me, today being on this podcast, that's a new experience, right? So I'm learning something from this, but I'm hoping people listening to me may go join a Toastmasters club and they'll gain something from it. So I gain and they gain. Same thing when I charter a club. I feel I've given every single person who joined a gift. And if they just continue with Toastmasters and really use it and adapt and follow, they will improve their lives. So to me, it's a very exciting place. Also, I think it's very important, and I would like to say, in 100-year history, I am the 9th woman to be Toastmasters International President.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. And so many people have come up to me, especially women and minorities, who say, oh, wow, you made it. And the message I want them to feel is, hey, if I can make it, you can too, because we accept everybody. We are very inclusive, and we want everyone to know they have the opportunity as well to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, you just raised that. I just want to ask a question on that. How does Toastmasters support diversity, equity, and inclusion among its members and leadership?
Yeah. So first of all, to start with, we have our core values, which is integrity, respect, service, and excellence. And the second core value is respect. Because we are members from around the world, we have all different perspectives, all different backgrounds, all different ways of looking at things. It's very important that we respect each other. And today we are actually trying to go a little more and provide some training so people can, when they work with other people, they can respect them, include them. Because some of us, coming from the Indian subcontinent, but for example, when I first joined work, I thought being quiet was showing respect. And then my boss called me outside and he says, do you understand what's going on? I'm like, yeah, I understand. He's like, why are you so quiet? I said, I thought I was the kid. I just graduated. I got the job. Everyone knows more than me. I'm showing respect. No, but so I'm sorry. I digressed over there. But what I'm trying to say is that we have to learn to get along with each other. We have to learn to see where different people are coming from, accept them as they are. And that's what we do in Toastmasters. We also are now providing training for our leadership so that they're more sensitive and understand and include everyone in this journey.
Right. Perhaps, the world needs more and more maturity and understanding in terms of understanding the other side of the world and the communities, people from different places, right? So perhaps my last question to you is, looking ahead, what are your visions for the future of Toastmasters globally? We have such a rich heritage, but our future is even brighter. And currently in Toastmasters, we have something called a +1 pledge. And I urge everyone to bring at least one guest, one friend, one acquaintance to a Toastmasters meeting to see what we have to offer. Because I just see us growing. There is so much value in this program. And when you can share that value with others, that's when we grow. And like I said, we are an organization just focused on the individual. And if we can make sure people understand that and get to know that and not keep it a secret, I'm sure we will grow and double and become stronger and better for everyone. So yes, my hope is for us to turn the page on COVID and have all these different ways of meeting and learning and helping each other and growing. Yes. Radhi, on that note, I'd like to, thank you so much for your time. Despite being on such a busy schedule, you found a time for me, and I'm really honored to have you in my show. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it a lot.